Greetings, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. I'm doing my best. Life is beautiful. So today I want to talk about narcissist bait and switch. So the bait and switch is a term that could be used for a lot of things. But I want to explain what the bait and switch is in narcissism or narcissistic terms. As I've always said, narcissists want what they can get from you, basically. Nothing they do is organic. It's all manipulative. Sometimes I don't know if they always know they're manipulating. I'm not sure. They know their motivations, but I don't know if they always know that they're manipulating. So when it comes to a narcissist who baits and switches you or attempts to bait and switch you, there could be very many variations or motivations for why they want to bait and switch you. I was just thinking about this when I was taking my walk. A lot of times a narcissist will bait and switch you just to see your disappointment, just to crush your spirit, to make you cry, to fill you with disappointment. It's more like when that's the motivation of the bait and switch, it's more sadistic. They enjoy hurting you. So let's say, as a woman, you're out with your girlfriends, right? You're just having a good time. And one of your friends tells you, hey, I'm going to be going on this trip next week, all out in nature, canoeing, hiking, biking, friends, coffee, tea, beer, whomever wants to come, whatever you want to eat or drink. It's going to be a really good time. I can't wait, and I really hope you can come. So you're all on board because that's like your cup of tea. You like the outdoors. You like being in nature, being with other people, doing the same things that you enjoy doing. You're like, oh, I'm in. I'm totally in. So you and your husband kind of make plans for you to be gone that weekend, and you rearrange your work schedule. He makes sure he can stay home with the kids because this is a girls' trip. You even go to the sports store, buy a new backpack, buy a few new pairs of shorts that would be, right for the weather. All these things, you pack your backpack. You got everything ready. You're like super stoked because you haven't been out like on a hiking trip like this for a long time. So the night before you and all these people are supposed to go on this trip, this so-called friend of yours calls you and says, I am so sorry, but I have to cancel this trip. Bob had an emergency at work. I've been working overtime, and it's just, I really wanted this trip to go, but we just can't do it. And she will make sure that it's like last minute. Because that's like for the most effect. Like How can I just take the knife and just turn it in her heart with the most reaction? And you are so disappointed. You're so disappointed. You're just bummed. You were going to get away from, have the, a little mommy time away from the kids, time with the girls. And just like that, she pulls the rug from under you. This was her plan all along, by the way. And chances are she didn't even invite all those other people. She, when they want to do the bait and switch, like, they make it easy for themselves. So when they do these bait and switches, it's always to get as much reaction, as much hurt and disappointment from you, maybe make you get angry, make you cry, make you look like a bad mother, make you look like you stole money at work, whatever it is. But they'll set it up so you fall for it, because that narc friend of yours was studying you for a while. She knew your likes, your dislikes, everything that was what you love, and then boom. So, yeah, it's once you start to learn about these manipulative behaviors, your life does become easier. Whether you get tricked again or not, because I know darn sure I get tricked still. And I do hope to make more like-minded friends. That's the goal. But it's kind of hard to connect with people when you're a little different or unique, So it's always for full effect. It's always to make you really upset in whatever way that is. Let's use a man as an example, right? Like real masculine, outdoorsy kind of guy. Let's say I'm going to use myself as an example. My husband's name is John, and John loves to go outdoors, fishing, hunting, hiking. He eats it up, all of it. He loves all of it. And so he had recently made a new friend, Jim. And Jim invites him on this all-inclusive weekend trip with the boys. Card playing, fishing, a few beers, hiking, just good old fun. And, it's like similar scenario to what I'm telling you before. And John is like so excited because he hasn't been out with the guys, for a while. He hasn't done a good men's trip. And same, very similar. So his new fake friend, Jim, calls him and say, hey, John, I am so sorry, but, Diane, she got sick and we had to take her to the hospital and, unfortunately I got to cancel. And in those situations, and by the way, Jim is lying about all of it. But in those situations, John is so disappointed. He's so sad and bummed out about everything. And not only that, now he feels sorry for Jim. You see how they do that? So, I truthfully think there are a lot of bait and switch type scenarios at workplaces. And as I said, a lot of these narcissism type scenarios, tasks, systems are, they're built on like a narcissistic model, in my opinion. So I'm trying to think of an example. I found in more toxic workplaces that, and I always wanted, to be really honest, I always wanted to be a good employee. And I had a lot of really positive experiences and a lot of negative ones too. But the more toxic environment, it was always like managers or other, people up above, the people who make the rules and all this stuff. They'll put like a scenario in front of you or a task, and then make it that everyone in the office is competing for that. Let's say it's what is that where the bidders, when people make bids and all that. I can't think of the name right now. But those, like when you're in a company and you have a specific department that is set up to hire contracts or get products, and decide who gets what, and, is this the product we want for this, etc. Well, let's say you're working in this environment, and then all of a sudden management, like the management team, because you guys all know, mostly when there's a management team, I'm being sarcastic, but I'm really honest here. A lot of them, they don't do anything. Anytime you have to have a team, I just don't trust it. It's my personal opinion. But they'll put out like a really exciting project. And then they'll say, whoever in the office comes up with the most fiscally responsible way to complete the project, you and a family member will win a trip to Mexico. I'm just throwing this out there. So now it's always that divide and conquer. So now anyone in the office that was kind of chummy, now everybody's cutting each other in the throat, right? It's so sick. It's just so sick. And then what usually will happen is, like, let's say that this goes on for a week. And then the management team, I say it in quotations, are going to come up with some bullshit reason why, oh, unfortunately, that project had to be canceled. And they will give the most stupid, idiotic, bogus reason on earth. So now, meanwhile, a lot of people in the office were really getting along well and cool with each other. But because of that stupid project, everybody was turning on each other. They like that. They love that shit. And not only that, they disappointed everyone. So it's like always putting the, like, what do you call it? Dangling that carrot. Dangle the carrot. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. Here's the carrot. Whoop, whoop. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. Meanwhile, the cat never gets the mouse or whatever, But it's just, it's extremely manipulative, like on a higher level, and it's so cruel. It's so cruel. Yeah, and I think people that are more like this, the more manipulative, sadistic types, they, like, because they're lacking empathy and real, true emotion, it's almost like they feed off of yours, which is kind of more like, sort of like black magic a little bit. It's like harnessing your energy. And that's like harnessing a more dark energy. But anyways, that's my take on the narcissist bait and switch. And hopefully I come up with some more creative, interesting narcissistic topics. I do enjoy sharing all what I've learned with you guys, and I hope that you can benefit from it. And like I said, I'm not perfect in any shape or form. So, and I'm not above anyone here. Like, I don't even do that. I can't stand all the guru and all that shit. I can't stand it. But, I feel like whatever I've learned, I think it's the right thing to do to pass it on and give someone information to help them. Because being abused is never fun. And it's time that kind-hearted souls, empaths, take our power back and no longer allow these energy suckers to hurt us. So have a good day or a good night, everyone. Like and subscribe if you choose. Bye.